In the village of Ifidayo, nestled in the hills of southwestern Nigeria, Yasmina, the daughter of the respected village head Oba Adebayo, led a life of quiet expectation. As the eldest daughter, her future was already planned. Marriage to Akintoye, a man from a neighboring village as promised by her father. It was the way things were done in Ifidayo, a blend of tradition, duty, and familial bonds. But Yasmina had dreams that went beyond the borders of her village. Every day she helped her mother with chores and spent evenings by the village fire listening to the elders' stories. Yet, something inside her longed for more than a life bound by tradition. Tariq, a newcomer to the village, had come with his father, a skilled carpenter asked to craft new benches for the community. He was different from the young men of Ifidayo. His eyes sparkled with dreams of building something meaningful. Yasmina noticed him during her daily walks to the river, where he sometimes worked gathering wood. Their first meeting was quiet but marked by a lingering look, a wordless connection. Over time, their paths crossed more. Yasmina found herself exchanging shy words with Tariq, and they soon became friends, though there was an undeniable tension between them. The village, small as it was, whispered about the two of them. Yet, Yasmina remained torn between the life her father had planned for her and the new, unexpected feelings growing in her heart. One evening after the village's usual bonfire gathering, Tariq spoke softly as the fire crackled. "What is it you wish for, Yasmina?" he asked. Yasmina, feeling the weight of her hidden thoughts, hesitated. "I want something different. I want to explore the world, to learn, to be more than just a wife to someone I barely know." Tariq nodded, understanding. "I left my home for the same reason, to build a life that isn't limited by what others expect." That night, as Yasmina lay awake, her thoughts circled around Tariq. She realized that her heart had already chosen a path, one that did not follow the tradition of her village. The next morning, her father spoke to her gravely. "Yasmina, the time has come for you to marry Akintoye. His family is honorable and it is a great match for us." The words hit her like a stone. Her heart had already chosen Tariq, and the thought of marrying Akintoye felt suffocating. She nodded, but deep inside a storm was brewing. Later that evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Yasmina found Tariq by the river. Their eyes met, and in that moment she knew she couldn't marry Akintoye. "I can't do it," she said, her voice breaking. "I can't marry someone else. My heart belongs to you." Tariq, his face serious yet gentle, took her hands. "I know, Yasmina, but you must understand, if we leave, there will be consequences." Tears filled her eyes, but her resolve was clear. "I can't live a life that isn't my own. I don't want to live in the shadow of tradition when my heart is elsewhere." With a deep breath, Tariq spoke. "Then we'll leave together. We'll find a place where you can be free, where we can build a future on our own terms." The next days were a whirlwind, Yasmina told her family, and though her father was initially angry, he saw the strength in her decision. It wasn't easy for him, but he finally relented. "You have chosen your path," he said, "and as your father, I can only wish you well." With his reluctant blessing, Yasmina and Tariq left Ifidayo. They moved to a distant city, where Tariq found work as an artisan, and Yasmina began to study community development. They built a life together, facing challenges, but always supporting one another. Years later, Yasmina returned to Ifidayo. She stood by her father's grave, silently thanking him for his understanding. Tariq stood beside her, his hand on her shoulder. "We made it," he whispered. Yasmina nodded, her heart full of the love they had forged together, a love that had survived the winds of change and the constraints of tradition.